Good afternoon, everybody. How are you? Welcome to City Hall. We're glad to have you here today. First of all, I want to apologize that Mayor Minor's not here. I'm sure you would rather see her, but she's on a well-deserved vacation as she gets ready to charge to the finish line as her term comes to an end on December 31st. I also have a proclamation here, the first one we've had. We're proclaiming World Cerebral Palsy Day here. And before I do that here in Syracuse, I want to thank Joe Gorshik, who does a great job. He always makes sure that these ceremonies that we do here at City Hall go off like clockwork, and that's already been acknowledged here this morning, but I wanted to do that myself. So thank you, Joe. Nice job. Thanks, and thanks for reminding me to wear my green tie. So this is your event. I will read our proclamation and then turn it over to you. Whereas cerebral palsy is the most common physical disability among children and affects an estimated 17 million people worldwide of all socioeconomic levels, and whereas cerebral palsy is a lifelong, non-aggressive neuromotor condition affecting body movement and muscle coordination, and whereas World Cerebral Palsy Day is a movement of people with cerebral palsy and their families and organizations to support them in more than 60 countries. And whereas where the people with cerebral palsy have meaningful opportunities to live up to their potential, they make powerful contributions to the world we all share. And whereas the City of Syracuse is committed to the elimination of all barriers, both physical and attitudinal, that prevent the full and effective participation of all persons in the community. And whereas we understand and appreciate the support is physical, academic, and spiritual that can help us embrace independence and joy of the people with cerebral palsy and their families. And whereas the City of Syracuse proudly joins in celebrating and bringing awareness to people with cerebral palsy so they can fully participate in a better, more inclusive world. Now, therefore, I, Stephanie A. Minor, Mayor of the City of Syracuse, do hereby proclaim the 6th day of August, 2017, as World Cerebral Palsy Day in the City of Syracuse. You want to accept this?
Yes.
Thank you. I don't know if you want to get a shot of that.
I'll hold it out.
It's all yours.
Thank you so much.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you again. Appreciate it. So thank you to Mayor Minor City Hall for proclaiming today's World Cerebral Palsy Day in the City of Syracuse. And thank you to all of you for joining us today to spread the message worldwide that people with disabilities and those of us who love and support them are here. We are joining a growing community of people in over 60 countries around the world today in celebrating World Cerebral Palsy Day. I'm speaking today as the mom of two fantastic children, Leo and Phoebe. Leo and Phoebe, can you wave to show that you're here? Well, Leo can, apparently. Our family is really touched to see so many people from our circle of support here today. My mother, Leo's self-direction team, Leo's bus driver and bus aide, Leo's nurse, and Leo's self-direction coaches, and many family friends. We are all here today. It truly takes a village for our family to thrive. Thank you all for coming. There are many more friends who wanted to be with us here today, but unfortunately were unable to because of confounding challenges relating to their disabilities. They were unable to arrange the necessary transportation or are having staffing crises and don't have the necessary support to join us. World CP Day offers us the opportunity to applaud all of you, our ambassadors, who are here with us today, as well as those of us who could not physically join us today, for your daily love, solidarity, and support. So I wanted to go ahead and give you all right now a hand. So thank you. Thank you. So with your help, we can be here today to celebrate World Cerebral Palsy Day. So why? Why are we here celebrating World Cerebral Palsy Day? World CP Day gives us space to be seen and to be heard about living with cerebral palsy, a condition that comedian Zach Anner has called the sexiest of the palsies. Even though cerebral palsy is the single most prevalent disability in childhood, in day-to-day life, the public just doesn't hear enough about cerebral palsy. Even now, in 2017, people living with cerebral palsy are one of the least understood and most stigmatized communities in the world. Too often, people with CP and their families are isolated, poorly informed, and our lives are more challenging than they actually need to be. World CP Day is a global movement that recognizes that communication, curiosity, and connection can help bridge this isolation. It gives us space to communicate and share our experiences navigating a world that's mostly designed for folks who don't have cerebral palsy, or by folks who don't have cerebral palsy and don't understand how it affects our lives. It gives us a chance to, all of us, a chance to see, think about, and learn about people like us. It carves a space out of our busy lives so that we can think, talk, and connect about our experiences living with a disability. For example, we have space to talk about how we learn in school if cerebral palsy has made us physically unable to speak. The answer might be that we talk with sign language, with hand gestures and eye contact, or with technology that speaks for us. We might access the technology with our hands or perhaps with our eyes. And as fantastic as the technology is, it's really hard to keep it in working order and to get the appropriate support for it at school. But my son Leo tells me that the hardest thing about not being able to use his voice is talking with people who don't have a communication disability and who don't know how to give him enough time to answer. World CP Day allows us to listen. We can remember that not being able to speak doesn't mean you don't have something to say. We can remind our fellow Americans of the African proverb, if you want to go somewhere fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. Even better, World CP Day gives friends and strangers alike a space to think about how to help make positive change. The CP Foundation's Just Say Hi campaign to just say hi and break down social barriers between people of all abilities has already helped raise comfort levels of non-disabled people so we can all connect. And in honor of World CP Day 2017, I'm excited to announce that the CP Foundation is launching today the CP Channel, which is a free app for your phones. It's full of CP Foundation ambassadors. Some are funny, some serious, all of these videos in the app are informative, and they've received already 60 million views together. They offer life advice so sorely needed in our community, and it's a tremendous resource to help connect us all. So download it today as you leave here, and check it out to learn more about cerebral palsy. On World CP Day, we can all think about how to include people of all abilities and begin to make it the norm to think about access and planning gatherings, as the City of Syracuse has done such a great job of here today, and how to include people with disabilities in after-school activities, travel on airplanes, what our sidewalks look like for people with disabilities, curb cuts and why we need them, more of them. On World CP Day, we can think about how many friends we ourselves have who have disabilities and make it a goal to make some new friends this year. In short, World CP Day gives us space to communicate about disability. Our family has celebrated World CP Day every year since its inception, right? Yeah. It's a day when we truly celebrate what makes us unique, what makes us different. It's when we say we are here, and we want to thank you today for helping us spread the message worldwide that we're here, for donning your green, and thank you to the City Hall, Onondaga Tower, and National Grid for turning the Syracuse City green this evening. We have a great lineup of speakers, and our first is a friend of mine, Bruce Sexton, who's a student at Syracuse University College of Law. He's a student attorney in the Disability Law Clinic. father of 2 lovely children, and president of the Disability Law Society, and he is going to offer some remarks on this occasion. Should have given you some advance notice. Yeah, the mic's right in front of you here. Those are, you've got 4 mics from the press.
4 mics,
Yeah.
okay. Many mics.
Many mics.
Thank you, Professor Trufrost, because you're still professor to me. Hello, everyone. Thank you for coming out today. I am Bruce Sexton, the president of the Disability Law Society at the Syracuse University College of Law. I do not have cerebral palsy. I am blind, but by being disabled, I understand how it feels to live in a world built for non-disabled people. I hope that what I say today resonates with you, and I'm happy to receive your feedback and criticisms. Why World CP Day matters. World CP Day doesn't matter because we showed up here today or because of the pity that a lot of non-disabled people feel. It doesn't matter merely because a lot of disabled and non-disabled people donated time, energy, and money, or because we sometimes talk funny, or because we sometimes walk differently. It doesn't matter because we sometimes use wheelchairs and technology to live in the world. World CP Day doesn't matter when we make non-disabled people feel warm and fuzzy, or because our siblings are better for our existence, or because our classmates learn to deal with us, or because one of us does something amazing or incredible. It doesn't matter when somehow some of us will be productive members of our capitalistic society, one that too frequently disregards and devalues disability. World CP Day doesn't matter because of the parents or caretakers. World CP Day matters because all people with CP are human. Humans who deserve to live and integrate into the world because of our intrinsic values, because we are worthwhile, because we are valuable, because we are black, white, brown, because we are gay, lesbian, bisexual, trans, queer, ace, and straight, because we are a vital cross-section, intersection of society. World CP Day matters because we have heartbeats, because we feel good, bad, sad, even angry sometimes. It matters because too many people in the world do not know us and really need to know who we are. It matters because our unemployment rate is abysmal. It matters because society does not adequately value the critical work that our support staff does. It matters because our parents are still put through the ringer, and because we are still being teased on the playground, too often rejected by many of our teachers and school districts, sold the line that our least restrictive environment is in a special classroom, that there is no flexibility, no money, no room for us, no room in the places in which we really thrive. World CP Day matters. It matters because we are human and we have the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. World CP Day matters. It matters. It matters. It matters because if World CP Day doesn't matter, then CP doesn't matter, and our existence will not matter to the world. But World CP Day does matter, and today we all join together to affirm that World CP Day does matter.
Thank you, Bruce, for sharing your valuable perspective about why World CP Day matters. Our next speaker is Matt Subert. Matt has been a Communications and Development Officer at Access CNY for over 5 years. He works to raise awareness of issues that matter to people of all abilities in Central New York, including through a high-profile campaign last year to raise wages for the essential direct support professionals who work with so many of us in this community. He has received awards from the Cerebral Palsy Associations of New York State, served on the board of the Association of Fundraising Professionals, and has worked tirelessly to advocate for rights and services for people of all abilities in our community. By the way, tirelessly doesn't mean we're not tired, right? Okay, good. Thank you. Welcome, Matt.
Cora, thank you for that introduction and for organizing today's event. Access CNY is one of dozens of agencies locally that support individuals with cerebral palsy and disabilities. But our history is unique in that we were formed by families with a child with cerebral palsy. That is our rich history and our beginning. Our history is also new as an agency, as we were formed in 2015 by a merger of two agencies. But one of those agencies, as I mentioned, was founded by a family who had a child with CP. The Grossman family founded what became Access CNY in 1948. In the mid-40s, they had a daughter, Faith, who had cerebral palsy. There were no services locally to support their daughter. She and the family made a difficult decision to have her go to Baltimore to receive services. And as you can imagine, for a 3 or 4-year-old girl, that wasn't a good option for her or the family, as it turned out. When they brought Faith home, they decided something needed to happen. Something needed to change in Syracuse. There needed to be community-based supports for individuals with cerebral palsy. And that's how our organization started, is adapting to community needs, and that's what we continue to do each and every day. The Grossman family did something that mattered. They created an organization for their daughter, but now that organization serves 3,000 people in our community. As an agency, Access CNY strives to keep meeting the values that the Grossman families set out with. Whether that's providing environmental modifications, to put a ramp on a house so Leo can get in and out of his home. Whether it's providing tools and technology so our friend Larry can continue to work. Whether it's in our clinic where we provide physical and occupational therapy so someone with cerebral palsy can build and maintain the strength they need to live as independently as possible. Our goal is simple at Access CNY, and that should be our goal as a community, is to include people with disabilities and people with cerebral palsy in everything we do, at home, at school, at work, at play. When we think back on the rich history of our organization, we remember where we came from, but we will not forget what we still need to do as a community. The needs of our community are ever changing, along with the people that we serve, and we will continue to adapt to the needs of those with cerebral palsy and other disabilities. We can do it together, but we do it as one community, and Access CNY is here to help. Thank you.
So thank you, Matt, for sharing your perspective about work in Central New York and the opportunities that you've already increased for so many people to fully enjoy their rights here. Our next speaker, Kathy O'Connell, our penultimate and next speaker, Kathy O'Connell, is a counselor, speaker, and author of the book, Firework: Embracing Different Abilities. She owns Radiant Abilities, a business committed to nurturing self-esteem, increasing confidences, and fostering empowerment in people with disabilities. She also recently joined the staff at Arise, an organization that allows us to ski and horseback ride and do all kinds of fabulous things in the community. So Kathy recently joined Arise as a quality improvement specialist. So welcome, Kathy O'Connell.
Thank you. So, I don't have CP. Now, if you watch me walk up, if you're listening to my voice, if you're watching my body movements, you're probably thinking, honey, if you don't have CP, I don't know who does. Well, of course, my body has the characteristics of CP. the differences in my gait, my balance, my fine and gross motor abilities, and my voice has the CP accent. But I don't have CP. I live with CP. For better or worse, usually the former, CP is my life's companion. CP came along long before my husband, and like him, it's death do us apart. If I were to say I have CP, it's a very passive comment on the ever-interesting life in a body that operates differently from most people. CP is a disease of neuromotor condition, illness, or tragic fate. It's a way of life. It's a way of living differently from you if you don't have a disability. And it's also living exactly like each of you. We may walk slower, more disjointedly, or we may wheel to our destinations. We may speak with what appears to be a struggle, appearing being the operative word. Or we may speak through assistive devices. We may not be able to move some of our body parts, and then again we may not be able to quit, to stop our body parts from moving. We may live by ourselves and choose to do tasks like laundry, which may take us 5 to 10 times longer than the person without CP, but by God it gets done. Or we may have people assisting us in all areas of living. It may take us longer to process information, or you may turn to us to figure out the tip at dinner. Whatever we do or not do, at the heart of it all is that we live life with CP. We pursue dreams, we struggle through disappointment, we celebrate how wonderful life can be, and we rage at the unfairness of life at times. We want joy and fulfillment in our lives, and we will sometimes pursue it with reckless abandonment, because let's face it, life with CP can be challenging, so let's make it worth it. And like you, at the very core of our being, we want people who will love us, our similarities and our differences, and join us in living with cerebral palsy. When we have CP, it takes up residence in our bodies with a sense of possession. But when we live with CP. It becomes a companion, creating adventure, insight, and wisdom on this wonderful ride called life. Thank you.
Thank you, Kathy. What an adventure it is, to be sure. We're almost ready to conclude our program, so thank you all for joining us. I want to thank the Mayor's Office once again, and I also want to ask my family to join me to make some final remarks. My husband, Jim, who is an actor, and you may recognize him from some shows, but I can't tell you which shows because you know that. And my 8-year-old son, Leo, and my 6-year-old daughter, Phoebe, are going to join us to make some final remarks. Go ahead. Oh, and can you tell people to pick up one of these?
Are you want to take a picture with everyone holding?
Yeah, at the very end, but tell people to pick up one of these.
First, Cora asked me to mention that if everyone would pick up a "We Are Here" flyer, if you haven't already done. I see a lot of people have. We may try to take a group photo with everybody holding one. It would look great on the worldwide website. So yeah, I'm an actor, and I happen to be the father of someone who has CP and his lovely sister Phoebe. And as an actor, I get to play lots of crazy parts, and it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun to have as a job, but the most fun I have and the best role that I get to play is playing father to these guys. And today I'm celebrating Leo and Phoebe. And to me, that's what World CP Day is all about. It's an opportunity to celebrate. It's not just the condition called cerebral palsy, it's the people who have cerebral palsy and celebrating them, the friends and children and fathers and mothers who happen to have CP. And celebrating them not just because what they've done or accomplished, but who they are, people with depth and integrity and rich personalities, and most of all, loving friends and family. So Leo, celebrating you on World CP Day means celebrating you and Phoebe both because, well, you guys are like two peas in a pod. You do everything together, right? And you do a lot of fun and interesting things together. Leo's going to say something.
Together and swimming and dancing together. And next weekend we're going to a Broadway musical together. And every summer we go on vacation together to the beach.
And Phoebe, do you want to say anything? She's given me a big head shake. She's shaking her braids as fast as she's ever shaken them. Well, I'll say something because I've noticed that that you do a lot of things for Leo, and he does a lot of things for you. Whenever Phoebe is really upset and saying something like she really wants to be let to use the iPad to watch videos, Leo always comes to her defense and says something like, "Dad, come on, let her have the iPad." And Phoebe helps Leo with things like tube feedings, and sometimes she builds a fort so they can play in it together and hide and play games. So today, oh wait, did you have one more thing to say, Neil? Go ahead. How about you and Phoebe?
I like to give her rides on the back of my wheelchair. After dinner we like to put on a dance performance together.
It's a fact, every night. Anyway, I celebrate Leo and Phoebe today and all the many friends that we've made who have cerebral palsy. There's Kathy, who spoke just now, who's a great family friend, who shows us what it means to be engaged in life and put your best foot forward and shine your light for the world to see. And our friend Larry here, who works at the law school with Cora and shares a subversive laugh with her now and then in the cafeteria there. And friends who aren't here, like Jason, who's a play-by-play commentator for the Chicago White Sox.
and our friend Tom, who's only 20 years old, but he's already putting on a one-man show in New York City, and our friend Kate, who's shown us so much about grit and determination and good humor at the same time as she's pursuing a degree in education and now pursuing a law degree. So to all of them, and to all of you, I just wish a happy World CP Day in Syracuse. Thank you for joining us today.